ride along, join the dance, let's sing the song. From island to island strong, with the host, we belong. Energy high, heart so bright, tune in, feel the light. Global love taking flight, every ride a sheer delight. Making waves across the seas, love and joy in the breeze. Ride along live if you please, bringing hope with such ease. Ride along, join the dance, let's sing the song. From island to island strong, with the host, we belong. Energy high, heart so bright, tune in, feel the light. Global love taking flight, every ride is sheer delight. Making waves across the seas, love and joy in the breeze. Ride along live if you please, bringing hope with such ease. Ride along, ride along.
Are you a progressive young leader, a proactive emerging executive, a rising professional? Then you need appropriate cover for your vehicle. Introducing the Pro Motor Plan from Beacon. Car insurance that includes free loss of use, windscreen cover up to $3,500, free special perils, free accident forgiveness. Get Beacon's Pro Motor Plan today. Don't procrastinate. Call Beacon today at 440-4447 or visit beacongrenada.com.
Looking for the ultimate island experience? Hop on the Ride Tuk Tuk Rum Punch Tour and explore Grenada like never before. Feel the tropical breeze, sip on authentic Caribbean rum punch, and cruise through Grenada's stunning scenery in our unique and fun tuk-tuks. It's the perfect blend of adventure and island flavor. Book your unforgettable tour now at ride.gd or call 473-422-1011. Don't just see Grenada, experience it with Ride Tuk Tuk Rum Punch Tours today.
Ride along live, welcome to the ride. It is Tuesday on the ride. Today is April 1st, All Fool's Day. And somebody tried to play a little thing on me today, but it was not successful. Thank you very much. I came out of the house today and I said, anybody that called me and told me anything, or anybody that called me that normally don't call me, I know they're trying to fool me. So a few people tried, but it was unsuccessful. Better luck next time, like next year or next never, right? So guys, yeah, I'm still in Greens, still in Grenada. And we got a nice conversation today, guys. We're going to be speaking politics, right? But not just politics. My next guest who's going to be joining me today, she is a social media darling, a social media rat talk darling. Now, a lot of people love this young lady. A lot of people don't like her too much because she tell it as it is. She is the real raw talk, right? She don't sugarcoat. She don't put mustard on it. She don't ice it down, nothing like that. She don't moisturize it and make it all nice and, well, she tell it as it is. So because of that, people say she's too raw, right? But, I've been following her for quite a bit. And I understand her. Yeah, I understand her. So when I heard she was getting into politics, I said, wow, interesting. I thought, like me personally, let me give you my personal story. Like I feel like I am too radical for politics. Like I just feel like I'm too radical. Like I might say something out of the norm, like, and I might upset the prime minister or something. I don't know. But anyway, my next guest, her real name is, let me don't mess up her name, Aklisha, we'll get that right. I'm sorry. Stafford. And she's known in the Trinidadian and the global community as the real Raw Talk. She started social media only about 4 years ago, but she blew up pretty quickly because, again, all you like bacchanal. And she know how to give it to all you raw. So she just joined. She's one of the latest member to join the new party in Trinidad and Tobago, the APP party. And she is from San Fernando East, right? So from the folks in Trinidad, I wanted to tag everybody. And folks in Grenada who followed her and folks around the world who follow her, I want you guys to join in. Someone said that they have to watch this program because they can't watch her on her platform because she blocked them. So they get a chance to watch her now and hear what she have to say involving a political run. All right. So if you was blocked over there, your opportunity right here. Right along live. Let's talk to Ms. Stafford. And let me preemptively, before I bring in Ms. Stafford, I want everybody to do this for me. Go into the page and type in @followers. And let me tell you all just something. My power on my my laptop is giving real trouble, Dread. Real bacchanal, real waste. I hope he holds up. So let me not waste any more time. Let's bring in my guest. She is Ms. Stafford.
Hello, thank you for having me so much.
The real, not the fake, not the alternative, the real Raw Talk. You know what I mean?
And it's just that. Thank you so much for having me.
How you doing, my dear?
I'm good. Tired, but good.
Nice. Well, let me tell you, I follow your program, your vlogs, your programs, and I always say, you know what? When you said that people like bacchanal, it's not you that like bacchanal, it's people that like bacchanal. I understand what you're saying. I feel you. I understand what you're saying. Do you get that a lot when people say, why Mr. Raw Talk is only bacchanal and she singing and she going into raw? Do you get that a lot?
I do, but it's not true. The truth is, I am an onion and I have plenty different layers.
Right.
And I host 4 different social media platforms. So I am a designer. So I have a fashion platform where I just do fashion. I do fits of the day. I also do critiques on other people's fashion, international fashion, soca. I have this segment called Way That Soca Fit. So I do soca artists from around the world. I have a family page where I highlight my family, my sons, my goats. I have chickens, I have rabbits, and that's all I do on that page. And then I have a page for food. All these pages are way underfollowed in relation to the real Raw Talk. The real Raw Talk is what people want to see, what people like, and what they share, like, and follow most, because Trinidadians love bacchanal.
Not only Trinidadians, everybody loves bacchanal. They want to get the juice. They want to get the juice.
Yeah, they want it live and direct.
I'm telling you, you can't blame me for giving it to them. But tell us a little bit more about yourself and your introduction in media. First of all, before we go into the political positioning, tell us about you and who you are as a person.
When I am 41 years old, I'll be 42 this year. I started social media because I'm a very business-oriented person. And as I told you before, I'm a fashion designer. And I wanted, when I started my fashion line officially, which by the way will be launching this year, that I already had a ready-made market. I'm really good at speaking and engaging, telling a story. So when social media became a thing, I decided to throw my hat in the ring and see, if I can gather a following of people who will be willing to purchase my clothes when that time came. And it evolved from just being a business plot to actually being a business within itself, because over my platforms, I probably amassed about 200,000 followers. And it became bigger than just, hey, well, she wants to start a fashion business. It became a thing in itself, and I became an entity, and I became the real Raw Talk as a person. People know me as that and would see me as that and would recognize me as that. So it did become bigger than I thought it would. but that's where it started. That was the thought behind starting social media.
Right. But were there any influences, folks that you looked at and you said, you know what, I want to model like this. I want to be like this. I want to more put my platform more like this. Were there any inspiration coming up in social media that you looked at?
So when I first started social media, my idea for my brand was actually to show Trinidad. Because in my personal life, I take a lot of pictures. I take a
Right.
lot of pictures.
Uh-huh.
And I used to go all over Trinidad. And I don't know if you know that it have a lot of little holes and nooks that are just so pretty. And
Right.
people watch my pictures and say, oh my God, where's that? Where you travel to? And I was like, nowhere, that's Trinidad. And people would not have known. So when I started social media, that was my idea behind it. Come go with me, sort of something. So I
Right.
didn't have an actual person in mind to follow, but that was where my mind was taking me in terms of my content. In terms of now, where I am now in social media, I want to have a show like the Oprah Winfrey Show. That's my aspirations, to have a talk show where people could come and talk, express themselves, where we could talk about a whole slew of topics and be entertaining, be exciting, and just me being me.
Right. When you look at your content or when you look at prospective content, because as a vlogger myself, social media kind of always push you to talk about the most current topic, right? And everyone looking for a review or a perspective. And oftentimes, like yourself, they may not watch a whole conference. They may not know the full story of something, but they might look to you and say, "Let me hear what the real raw talk have to say. Let me hear how she sum it up." How do you figure out what content you should talk about or content that you should stay away from? What kind of method you use?
The method I use is whatever appeals to me most. Some topics will be trending topics, and you'll see I'll never talk about it because it doesn't touch me. So, topics you will see I am going towards will always be domestic violence topics because I grew up in a home with heavy domestic violence. I will always touch topics where children are concerned because I had an issue where the CPS came to take my children, and I will always veer towards topics to deal with children, child abuse, child victimization. I'll always go towards that. So the topics that I usually talk on is topics that in my lived experience is important to me and touches me. So that's why most times you see I'm so engrossed in it and so have so much passion about it because that's how I really pick my topics.
Right. One of the topic that you touched on, and that was a shock enough for me, right? So I remembered when this viral story that came out with Miss Jackson, and you took that topic up. I took it up too. Every social media person took it up because it was a relevant topic. People was talking about it. Um, your angle for the topic, though, which I understood, right? You didn't come you didn't come first in your first review of it. You were very understanding, but you also give your personal review on the topic. Now, these topics, how do you figure out now? Should I be soft on it? Should I be hard on it? Should I come raw on it? How should I?
Again, it comes from personal experience.
Right,
So my closest friend in the whole wide world,
uh,
she had an experience before social media was a thing.
right,
So before social media, when cell phones were now becoming a thing, when we still had pay phones and we're
right.
using pay phones and cell phones, you remember that weird time in between there?
Yeah.
She made a bad decision and did a so-called sex video with her partner at the point in time. And
Uh,
that video was leaked. And to this day, now this is probably 20 years ago, she doesn't have any social media because it affected her so strongly that she just stays off all social media platforms. So when
right,
that happened to Miss Jackson, I personally have a problem with women in general expressing themselves sexually in a place of trust, in an
right,
environment of trust, and that trust being betrayed. Also, I don't like people when they play smart with strippiness.
right,
And though I would have critiqued Kiesel as well, Watson's story wasn't making any sense to me. One and one wasn't making two. Because
Right.
if you're being sexually assaulted and you're being raped, like what did you do about it? Because that's what you're trying to tell us. That's what she did. So
Right.
one-on-one must make two. But the first initial reason why I spoke about it was because of my best friend. And any topic to do with the exposing of a woman news, I will immediately speak about it. Immediately.
Right. Right. Yeah, we were touching on that. I don't want to dive deep into that. That is something that we touched on, we bit up on, we knock up on, and we're moving forward. Now, you decided now to get into politics. And I don't know if it's full circle. Now, you are a partner of the APP, Kizelle Jackson, who is someone that I've been following for quite a number of years. She's the leader of that political party, and you were just announced as the MP, the possible MP for San Fernando. Was it San Fernando East?
East.
San
Yes.
Fernando East. Tell us about now having all these things or all these um personalities or raw situations and feelings that people have about you now getting into politics. No, what was your thought process getting into political frontline politics?
So let me first say that my political view has been for years that the non-voter should have a voice. Let me explain.
Uh-huh.
For a very long time in Trinidad, we have had a two-party race, a two-party political arena, PNM and the UNC. I do not agree or subscribe to either. It
Mm,
is both of them is the same thing on the different side of the coin for me. And I have always advocated, even before I had a voice, before I had a platform, that the non-voter should have a voice, meaning that when a certain percentage of the population don't come out to vote, that should count for something. So if more than 49% of the population do not vote, then there should be an election in a year because we are also citizens of Trinidad and Tobago and we should have a voice. When Kizelle Jackson threw her hat in the ring and decided she was going to open a political party, I started to watch closely. I made videos on it. I was the first one to notice that she had a big banner by Cookie. I think that's the first one she put up, and I highlighted it on my page. And I said, look at this, people. Kizelle Jackson has announced she's opening the APP. And I started to look at her and I started to watch her. And I watched and I watched and I looked. And every single time she opened her mouth, and every single time she had a chance to talk, it dawned on me that what she was doing was different from everybody else. Every
mhm.
other political leader takes the opportunity to talk about other political leaders, what they didn't do, how they dress, how they cut the people. When Kizelle opens her mouth, she opens her mouth to educate. She opens her mouth to educate about politics, about geographic politics, about politics around the world. She opens her mouth to teach the people what they should know. And political science is something that I think should be taught from preschool come right up. It is
Right.
not. Yeah, it is not. So then you have an uneducated electorate
Mhm.
and they do not understand politics, but then they have to vote for a political leader. That leads people to vote based on likability, on
Right.
personality. So now you are going to vote, you're not voting on the politics, on the political grounds. You're voting on, oh my God, I like he, oh my God, he's so nice, oh my God, he's so handsome, oh my God, he have a nice family. You're voting on likes and not what the people promise or what they could do for the people. And that is a problem for me. So watching Kizelle more and more and more, I started to understand more and more and more. As my eyes towards politics started to open more and more. And the minute that me and her had the conversation and she asked me why, I said, if not me, then who? If
Mhm.
not me, then who? I see you out here and I see you fighting. And I see you fighting for our country and I see you battling and I see you tearing down walls. And I could either stay to the outskirts and watch and hope that you succeed and hope that you do well so that I could do well, or I could join the battle, I could join the fight and fight alongside you for that betterment. And I decided to fight alongside her.
Well, how did you thought about how the real raw talk would affect your political stance right now? Because there were so many things that was said. There were so many things that was put out there. You think that
So let's just say that when people say that I'm crazy, I am, because people's opinion of me never affect me. What people think was never a factor, has never been a factor in my life. What people say or think about me don't affect me. How I feel and my conviction is what matters. And I will always be real and true to that. People's opinion, and I really want people to listen to this. People's opinion is there to guide their behavior. Let me say it again for the slow ones in the back. And yes, I cannot curse anymore, but I can still say you all are slow. Let me tell you all, for the slow ones in the back, when you have an opinion, it is not to guide other people's life. When you have an opinion about anything, I could find, hey, I find your jacket ugly. But that is not to guide your life. That is not so that you would not wear that jacket anymore. That is so that I would not go out and buy that jacket because I find it is ugly. People
right?
do not know the reason for them having an opinion. They think that their opinion of you should affect your life. And that is not true. That is a falsehood. Their opinion of you is irrelevant to you. And too much people sit down and wonder, I wonder what people will think. And I wonder what people will say. That doesn't affect me. And I am going to do the best that I could do, as I do with everything else. If people watch me objectively, I am a human being that take lemon and make apple juice. I came from poor, from poverty, from a poverty-driven home where we didn't even have running water, we didn't even have a bathroom. And I have made it in the world where I now own my own home and drive a $300,000 car. So if you are judging me based on what I have done and the battles, being black, being a woman, and being poor, and the things that I've done for myself, imagine what I could do for you.
So what do you bring to politics? Let's talk real talk. What do you bring to the political conversation?
Honesty, number one. Realism, number two. And a fresh way of thinking. Politicians, I am not a politician. Politicians bring politics to the political arena. They have learned when a politician is groomed from the ground up. So to join a political party, if you know that one day your aspiration is to be the prime minister, you start off in your local political party, you work with the party every 5 years, then you probably get a little higher job if you are selected, and if you're light enough, you may become councillor. And then from there, if you do well and you kiss enough bottoms and you kiss enough babies, then you could probably become MP and probably have a shot. While you are going through this process, you are taught to mislead the people. You are taught to tell them exactly what they want to hear, because remember, all of this is towards not getting positive results, but towards getting their votes. You are taught how to say something and mean something else, so that you are not held to that something that you said, because you could simply say, well, I said this and you just understood that. You are taught to be a politician. I was never taught to be a politician. What I bring to the political arena is that I'm not a politician. I am and will always be the real talk. I will give it as it is, I will sell it as it is, and I will do my best for my community because I say so. I will do my best for my constituents and my constituency because I say so. I will do the best because I am a fighter and I'm very competitive. And I want to go down in history as the best MP / councillor that it ever had. And that's just the person that I am.
Yeah. Earlier I said MP, but that should be candidate. All right. I was reminded
Yeah.
that candidate for the APP party there in Trinidad and Tobago. So you mentioned about the aspiration, people having this different aspiration, coming into politics. What are your aspirations? What do you want to among two later on or for whenever?
I want to, in the next 5 years, I want to change the face of politics. I want to change the expectation of the people in the community. I want to change the way people think about their political leaders and what they expect from them, because quite frankly, we as a people expect way too little from our political leaders. We expect way too little from them, and we take crumbs from their tables. The culture of Trinidad and many other countries is that politicians are up on a pedestal and the people have to be beholding to them. That is not true. That is a fallacy, and that has been told to you and sold to you. The truth is that politicians are public servants, which means we are there to serve the people and we are there to make people happier. We are there to ensure that the lives of the people that we serve are easier, are more fulfilled, that they are safer, and that has not been done. So my aim and my objective is to change the minds of the people, make them expect more, make them want more, and in return make them demand more. Because when they see that I am doing better, when they vote for me and see the mountains that I will move for them, and that I will get things done without an excuse, without saying, hey, oh my gosh, well, I can't do that because the counselor is in charge of that. And when people come to me with a complaint, I take it seriously and I run with it. They will now say, well, well, if Otto could do that, then you could do that, and they will expect more, and it will cause a ripple effect, and it will cause a change in the community, and it will cause a change in the country. And what people expect and what people accept will be different after my run.
So when you look at the political climate, the political structure, whether it be Trinidad or the Caribbean region, US or whatever, what do you think is really wrong with politics today?
The people don't understand that they have the power. The people don't understand that politicians are few and they are many. The people don't understand it's all about control. The people don't understand that we are millions and they are few. And that is the problem, because we, the people, have been taught to be sheep. And when they say sit, we sit. And when they say shut up, we shut up. And when they say, well, this is the law and this is what it is, we just follow blindly. And we do not understand. We, the people, and I'm not talking now as a prospective candidate. I'm not talking as a candidate to become MP. I'm talking as a citizen now. I'm talking as a clear Stafford, a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago. We do not understand our power. We do not understand that we have the numbers and that we elect people and put these people there to serve us. And that lack of understanding has made us part of a modern day slavery chain that have to be broken.
Can a non-politician, from your construct, can a non-politician succeed in a political campaign or political?
Well, we're gonna see now.
Right.
We have to keep watching. It's a month away. 28 days to be exact. We're gonna see.
Yeah. And I'm sure you had many different options. You could have possibly joined the PNM. You could have possibly joined the other.
I would never join the PNM. I'll never join the UNC. That was never an option for me. I would never. I am a person who is full of convictions. And if I join or do something that I'm not convicted to do, or I don't believe in, I wouldn't be able to sleep in the night. I'm a very weird person, very weird. And the PNM and under the PNM government, not only I have suffered, but many of the people that I know have suffered. So let me share a little bit of my experience with you and you would understand why I will never join the PNM. So being a blogger, I am very disliked. And from being very disliked, what happened is I made a video talking about the safety of children. As I told you, that is one of my topics. And at the point in time, it was reported that 2,000 girl children and 500 boy children were sexually molested in their homes during the COVID period. And I made a video stating that I am very protective of my children. And if they go to the babysitter, I check them and stuff like that. People took that video and edited that video. And the CPU started to investigate me. Because I was very disliked, the investigation was not done thoroughly or properly. And then I was further victimized by the police officers. And in the end, 7 police officers jumped my wall, came with full automatic guns, took my children away, and it was a long, drawn-out process. My children were then sexually examined by the medical examiner. They were found never to be touched in that way, that it was found that they were never penetrated in that way. And eventually, well, we got back our children. But then I started a battle trying to sue the state, which became an uphill battle and is still going on. And that showed me how corrupt Trinidad is. Why I will never join the PNM is because this happened under the PNM government. And if you are watching this situation go viral, where a mother who is a great mother, and this happened under your government, and police officers who are sworn by your government did this, then I personally, being the commissioner of police, being the prime minister, being whoever, I would say no. And that was not done. So I will never, me being a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, being abused by the system, will never ever forget. I will never forget, I will never forgive the PNM, and I will never throw my hat in the ring for the PNM.
Right, right. No, you mentioned earlier about the dislikes. People have major dislikes for you. And those are the people that you need to vote for you. How do you turn these dislikes now into votes? How do you
I don't
convert?
intend to. I don't intend to turn dislikes into votes. I intend that dislike is what will make them vote for me. Because the reasons why they like me is why I would work for them. The reasons why they dislike me is because I am real. The reasons why they dislike me is because I am raw, I am authentic. The reasons why they dislike me is because I am unlike anything that they have ever seen before. And it irks them because I am not like other people. And that's why they should vote for me. Because the people who you liked took advantage of you. The people who you liked, they stole your money. The people who you liked ignore your phone calls after you voted for them. The person that you don't like them because they are real and raw. And if you let common sense prevail, you will understand that you don't have to like me for me to work for you. You don't have to like me for me to do the best for you. I don't need you to like me. I need you to understand who I am. And with that understanding, take that same dislike and vote for me because they dislike me. Because you have done.
But people vote for people that they could have a beer with. People that they share commonality.
And it's time for a change. It's time for a change. You cannot change, doesn't come easy. Change is not something that comes easy and quick. Change is painful. Change is torturous. Change is hard. And we need to change the way that we vote. We need to change the way that we pick our leaders. We need to change the way that we have been brainwashed to think that we should pick our leaders. Because we have been brainwashed that, okay, your leaders must look a certain way, they must dress a certain way, they must have a certain background, they must be married, they must have children, a boy and a girl, they must have a dog, they must have a picket fence, they must have, and that has no bearing on them being a good leader. These things, these superficial things that we have been taught that is important when voting for somebody, that actually have no bearings on if this person have the sense that God gave ability to vote, if this person could solve problems, if this person could think out of the box, if this person could stand up for me when bigger countries come to divide and conquer, if this person have decisive plans and ways of making money. These things that we have been taught that is important in voting is really null and void. It doesn't matter.
I've seen a lot of questions tossing all over the place. I'm not going to get into none of that. We're gonna be professional about it. We're gonna have a nice conversation. And again, this is not to blast anybody. I want to hear your story. I want to hear, just like if anybody else have their story to tell, I want to hear their story, and we'll be respectful with it. Now, you are the real raw talk, and you're going into positioning yourself where it might be an opportunity or opportunities where you'll have to soften your stance. You have to sort of take different positions. Are you willing to soften your position on your posturing for political upward mobility?
So I am going into politics, yes, but I am part of a team. And my team understands who I am, and my team leader most importantly understands who I am. So if there's a need for a softer touch, She's not going to try to change me to have that softer touch. She will send somebody, another soldier, in who has that softer touch because KZ has strategically picked different kinds of people for different kinds. When you have an army, you have different kinds of soldiers. Yeah? You have sergeants, you cannot run a military force. You see, people always think life is a group project and everybody needs to be the same and everybody needs to smile the same and everybody needs to talk the same and everybody needs to have the no, sometimes you need a sniper. Sometimes you need a tactical person, and sometimes you just need a gangster, and that is just what it is. So, if need be, if there's a need for somebody with a soft touch, I have a leader who will place somebody with that soft touch in the front line and allow that person to deal with that situation.
So what is it? What are the strengths of the APP? What are some of the strengths and some of the ongoing thing or the things that you think would catapult the APP to governance?
The biggest strength of the APP is that our leader was smart enough to do exactly what I just told you. Pick different people from different arenas with different specialties. Okay, we have lawyers, we have doctors, but we also have a street vendor. We also have a blogger. This was very strategically done, and a lot of people are underestimating the brilliance of Kizel Jackson in picking her candidates, and that's unfortunate. Our biggest strength is that the people that make up the APP is part of the community. We are not elevated above the community. We feel in the community. We are there marching in the community, feeling the woes of the community. We are part of the community. Therefore, we are uniquely equipped to not only know the problems, but solve the problems in the community on the ground. She have picked a group of soldiers who are laymen, who are grassroots, who are part of the people, for the people, with the people, and that is our greatest strength.
Earlier, you mentioned about why you can't and would not or will never and would have never supported or thought of supporting the PNM. What about the UNC?
The
What
UNC in its every bone is racist. They oftentimes use racist statements, racist slurs, and they never address racist comments or racist actions from their followers. Beside that, they have already failed in running this country and they have done the most and the worst. So why would I throw my hat in the ring with a party that had a chance and proved that they do not think outside the box? They will do the same thing that the PNM will do. They have the same kind of politicians. They grew politicians from the ground up, which is the problem. Yeah? The people who will smile at you, tell you exactly what you want to hear, pat you on your back, and after they get what they want from you, they dispose of you. They are both political parties full of politicians who their every training has led them to be liars. So why would I know? I would not fit in. I will stick out like a sore thumb because I am the real talk. And the minute that I see something going off key, listen, Kizel Jackson is very brave, a very, very brave woman to have me in her party. Because the minute that I see something going off key and all you see me exit stage left, all you don't know what it is, exit stage left. Because that's just how I am. I'm a very straightforward person, and what you see is what you get. And once you see, I say, hey, this is good, you could stand by it and say, yeah, this is good, because you want to talk say so.
Right. Do you think that TNT, Trinidad and Tobago, is ready to elect, to vote in a third party, and especially a third party candidate like yourself? But do you think that
Well, it wouldn't be the first time that it happened. A lot of people forget history and forget that UNC was a third party. A lot of people keep saying that Trinidad is a two-party state, but that wasn't the case. The UNC was a third party. The two parties was PNM and NAL, and then they had NJAC, and then they had UNC. Yeah? So if it happened once, it can happen again. You have to know where you come from before you know where you are going. So if you know the history, you see that brainwash, oh, Trinidad is a two-party state. That's not true. And UNC came from being the third party to being one of the two parties that are now the major parties in Trinidad. So if UNC could do it, the APP surely can.
What about coalition? I know that there are other smaller
That's
parties.
a no for my leader, and that's a no for me. She has said no several times on any coalition. She has said no way, she's not joining with anybody. And I agree with her full-heartedly due to the fact that when you join with people, they tend, especially when it's a bigger person or a bigger entity, they take over your entity and you now become part of them and not the other way around. They suck you in and they change your ideologies to their ideologies. And that is not what the people want. When people say they want change, right? And they throw their hat behind you, a new party, and they say, yes, we will limit you. And then you come and go into one of the old parties that they didn't want to vote for. You have betrayed the people who have now trusted you. That makes absolutely no sense. These people decided to leave the masses, leave the big dogs, and come with you because, hey, I really believe in change and I believe in you. And then what you do? Because of money, because of power, because of promises, you decide to sell them out and join with the big dog. We would not be doing that.
Again, guys, just for clarity, the APP is the All People's Party, and Giselle Jackson is the head of that political party. Let's talk about the construct of the APP. You, of course, San Fernando East, and there are other candidates as well. I'm not too familiar with every candidate. I saw that there was a release of a few candidates yesterday, and candidates are continuing to be introduced to the general public. Talk to us about the strengths, the areas of strengths, because of course to win you have to get a plurality, a plurality of candidate of votes. Where are the APP strongholds, or where are the areas that you look in and say, yeah, we could win here, we could win here, we could win here, we could win here, we could form the next government of Trinidad and Tobago?
I think that's a question for Kizel, and I would not even be attempting to answer that question.
Right. Okay. So let's talk about your constituency now. What have you been doing on the ground to galvanize support for your candidacy?
Well, for one, I have been addressing the issues of the people. So my constituency is a stronghold, a PNM stronghold. In the history of Trinidad and Tobago having elections, the elections has only in San Fernando East, there was only one time in history that anybody else beside a PNM candidate won a general election. And that was, I can't remember the exact year, but NAI won it with a candidate called Denise. I am running in a stronghold, but I am not fearful because the people who I am running against is one is deceased and the other one is just there for as a placeholder. So Brian Manning, who is the son of Patrick Manning, is my forerunner. He is the opponent for PNM, and the people have not seen him. He does nothing for the people. We have complained, we have cried, we have begged, and essentially, we the people of Koke, San Fernando West, San Fernando East, sorry, have been voting for a dead man. We have been voting time and time again for Patrick Manning because he was an awesome leader. He was an awesome candidate. He did what needed to be done to make his people comfortable, to make us happy, to make us have faith. He was on the ground. He did what needed to be done. And that legacy lives on in the name Manning. And because of that, people keep going and vote, going and vote, going and vote. But slowly but surely, the awakening is coming that here, but we voting and we don't get nothing. We voting and we are one of the worst constituencies. We voting and we voting in a stronghold and our roads are bad. Our schools are the worst. Our pool is not working. We are a stronghold and we are getting nothing. So I think it is time for that awakening, and I am right in time, on spot, to help that awakening and shake things up.
And what are the strengths in your, or not the strengths, what are the needs in your community?
Well, every community needs this, but we need the generation of income. We have too many unemployed people in Koke. Crime is very high in San Fernando East, sorry. crime is very high, and we need the generation of jobs. We need access. We need better access to social services because a lot of times social services is not accessible. A lot of people in the area, what happened is last year, March, people who usually access money from the government for welfare and different things, it just stopped coming. And with that stop coming, there was no explanation. And that is a problem because some people desperately depend on that money to come. I can go on and on with the problems of not only the rest of Trinidad, but San Fernando East. But these are some of the strongest problems. And I have a lot of plans to generate cash right in my community to help my community grow and prosper and to keep them safe.
Tell us some of the plans. Like, how do you plan to bring more income support into San
So number
Fernando?
one, we have a pool, and I have been told that the pool is not operational because of a filter. I intend to raise independent funds and get that pool up and running. That pool will now be a source of income because instead of having the pool run free, I will petition to have a $5 per hour fee attached to the upkeep of that pool. While that is happening, we will be hiring, of course, people to keep the pool clean, security guards, all from the area, all from San Fernando East. We will not be outsourcing. We'll be hiring from San Fernando East itself, lifeguards from San Fernando East, clerks to keep the money and keep the cash safe from within the community. Then the community center will be the next thing that I will target. I want that community center to be operational 24 to 365 days a year. There are teachers in the community that could have evening classes there. We could have after school classes. The field as well could have football practice, all for a fee and all hiring people of the community. So when they have Saturday, whole Saturday, you're charging $5. We are having different vendors. We have sauce people who sell sauce. We have bacon shack people who sell bacon shack. We'll all have a rotating spot to sell outside the pool, in the pool arena, so that they can earn cash. So it will all be generating cash for the community.
Right. What about entrepreneurship? What's your plan to increase entrepreneurship in San Fernando East?
Well, the party itself and the party policies, the party have a plan beside my little plans that I have to encourage the banks to give loans to small business people at a cheaper rate. It is all in our manifesto, and this is to generate small businesses and help entrepreneurship throughout the country, not only in San Fernando East.
Right. Okay. All right. Bringing money back. People want to talk about bread and butter issues. Unemployment, is that a big issue in that constituency? And about the
Yes,
road?
it is, but also safety is. So the next thing I want to do is implement neighborhood watches.
Right.
So every 3 streets, every 4 streets, I want to implement the head of a neighborhood watch, oversee and help finance cameras for everybody, and have a WhatsApp group. And I have seen it done in other communities, and it have worked. Yeah, so that each one help one. We as a community, San Fernando East, will no longer be waiting on the police to protect us and to have our back. Yes, the APP is dedicated to lowering crime, but before that happened, the people in my immediate environs in my constituency need relief now, and I intend to be the front of that campaign to make sure that we could protect ourselves, we could watch ourselves, and we could help ourselves in times of stress.
Right. Some of your main focus item has been dealing with kids, abuse situations, and just constructing your whole algorithm on talking about these issues. How would that now affect? How would you that carry that over now to your political aspiration to see that
I,
kids are
it will be separate. I am an onion and have always been an onion. And some people expect that I'll stop be the real world talk and stop talk about social issues. But social issues and politics are married. They go hand in hand. And I have too long sat aside and watched politicians be elevated above the needs of the man on the ground. When something happens within a community and it's all over social media and the politicians pretend to be blind, deaf, dumb, and stupid, I have a problem with that. So my social media presence is not going to ease up, it's not going to lighten, it is not going to change because we need politicians who speak on the issues, who fight for the issues, and verbally do so, who shows the people that they care and they know and they hear. You up in the parliament wearing a nice fancy suit, spending the taxpayers' money, and the people on the ground suffering, and you pretending they're deaf, blind, dumb, and stupid. That making any sense to you?
Mm. We have a question here. How do you know people in your area don't already have that already? Where are the statistics?
I don't understand. We have what?
Right. Have that. Yeah. If that person could elaborate more on that question, asking there that how do you know that the people in the area don't already have that? We don't know specifically what they're
So let
talking
me answer this question in a general way. A lot of people just talk because they have a mouth and they try to throw you off and ask questions that is not even a real question because they just want to throw a spoke in your wheel, especially when you're talking and they find you making sense. So they just want to say, hey, so how you know this and how you know that and where the statistics and where the number. The statistics is in the crime rate in general in Trinidad and Tobago. Are you happy? I'm asking back the commenter. Are you happy with Trinidad as it is? Are you happy in your constituency? Are you happy? Are you wealthy? Have you all the things that you have? Are you happy with the way Trinidad is going? Are you happy with the crime rate? Are you happy with the 4X? Are you happy with the amount of money that you make? Are you happy with the minimum wage? You're throwing a question to me. Where are the statistics? How do I know? Because I am a citizen and I am unhappy. My money
Right.
is slipping out and I having problems and I am unhappy. So if you are happy with how the country is running, that is all well and fine and I wish you luck and I am happy for you. But I want me and all the other people who are like me and are unhappy to be happy. And that's why I threw my hat in the ring, not because you all are unhappy, but because I am unhappy.
Right. She said it was neighborhood watch. When she said referring to how do you know that these places don't already have neighborhood watch, where the statistics? So I guess that was the
Well,
question.
if it happened, it's not working. So when I am elected, I will ensure that it's effective and it is working.
Okay. All right, let's see if we can open up the phone lines right now. 718-701-5720. We have just a few more minutes and we're going to take your call here. Respectful conversation here with prospective a candidate for the APP. And she's going in strong. This is the Real Raw Talk. And it's the first time I've heard Real Raw Talk speak in a half an hour segment, and you ain't cause a few bad words.
Because I no longer can. So let me first explain that me cursing is a choice.
Uh-huh.
And it's not a need. It has always been a choice from the beginning. I am quite eloquent and I could speak without cursing. I just think that obscenities add flavor to what you're saying, and I enjoy cursing quite a lot. And yes, I am sad that I can no longer curse, but my political leader asked me not to, so I am not, and I can't speak without cursing, so I do. But yes, I want to say beep, 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 and I wanted to say beep to that commenter. Yes, but I held it together.
You do a good job, they holding that girl. What? I had to be I did not care. I did not.
I wanted to bring my boom from the car and hit some lash. What out? What out? But you see, I can call myself.
Uh,
I can call myself well.
717-015-720, guys. We're speaking here with the Real Raw Talk, and she's going in for candidate for the APP, new political party there in Trinidad and Tobago. Giving you an opportunity to ask your question again. You could call via WhatsApp or you could call directly. The number 718-701-5720. While we wait on that call, how has campaign been? What are you doing? How are you connecting with your constituency?
Well, I
Constituent.
have been always connected to the people because as a blogger, I get a lot of calls and I work a lot on the ground. A lot of people don't see that because I really believe that if people really need help, okay, let me go back to me being very poor and me coming from a very impoverished home. And when people used our poverty as a tagline or as a way to say that I'm a good person, so I'm helping out the Williams family, I always used to feel ashamed, humiliated, and I hated it. So a lot of the work I do, I keep very private. I keep people's privacy, but my phone goes off 365 days a year. As a matter of fact, my phone is constantly on silent now. After I
Mm.
started blogging, my phone rings and beeps so much that I could no longer take it and take the mental strain of beep, 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 call, call, call. So it is constantly on silent, but I call every single person back. So I do a lot of work on the ground. I listen to a lot of problems, even where I cannot help physically. I always give a listening ear because sometimes people just need to vent. Sometimes people just need a good idea. Sometimes people just need, so campaigning has been, by the time people heard the word, they started to call and message and say the problems, problems I didn't even know exist, like some constituencies, because how the border is, half the road is UNC and half the road is PNM, and sometimes the garbage truck will only take up on the PNM side of the road, and so a lot of complaints and a lot of problems have come into me. And yes, at this point I feel very powerless, but I hope in a month time I will have the power, the means, and the opportunity to really help.
Yeah. Someone said, Junior, tell this young lady I wish her good luck. Um,
Thank
and
you very much.
have some good positive energy coming in. You have some good positive energy as well as you have some people who pushing back on a lot of things that you're saying. I'm
That's
sure you
okay.
help. How do you deal with negativity? How do you deal with that type of visceral sometimes people coming at
So
you?
negativity is not always just negativity. Sometimes negativity is constructive criticism. And one thing I do is separate what is just negative hatred from what is positive criticism. Like at one point in time, somebody said, "Oh, girl, talk the way this, hold that phone, and I always see it up in your nose." And somebody else would have taken offense,
Yeah.
but I didn't. Yeah, I understood that this angle is a poor angle, and they were getting upset and frustrated. So I
Right.
dealt with it. Yeah, the other day somebody as well said, "Oh, go talk, you're dizzy, man." Because when you're talking, your hands shaking, shaking. So I
Right.
immediately got a stand because I really talk with my hands a lot and I dramatize a lot and I understood. So we have to, as a people, be emotionally intelligent to be able to separate negativity from positive, from constructive criticisms.
Right.
That is one. Number two, when I see negativity, when people just hating for no reason, I sit, I analyze their comments, I see if that is really true and if it needs a change, and if it doesn't, I just ignore.
Okay. All right. Again, guys, someone is 7015720. For everyone who have a lot to say, who wants to ask their question, this is an opportunity for you now to ask your question to the real Raw Talk. She's here. And I was saying earlier, a lot of people call and they said, oh, you blocked them. They no longer have an opportunity to connect with you. So they're happy to see you now and they have
Yes,
some.
I have a blocking finger because anybody say anything about my children, I just block them immediately with immediate effect. I
Okay.
don't block people for negative comments. Like I don't mind negative comments. I don't mind hatred. But you see, once you say anything and I want you to listen well, or you could say I black, I fat, my belly, or you could speak about me from now to now. I will never block all you. I will watch and I will laugh. You see, once people start to make negative comments on my children or
Right.
start to say, that is why CPS come immediately block. I wouldn't even think about it. I'll block you with immediate effect because that is still a sore spot to me. And my children are very, very precious to me. And I will fight the whole world plus some for my children. So the minute you make any comment about my sons, you will get blocked with immediate effect without me even thinking about it. Other than that, I don't really block people. I like the negativity.
Right. Well, listen, positive energy coming in. Ali saying that tell her if I was a born Trinidadian, I would come back and vote for her. I love
Thank
her.
you.
Yeah, okay, okay. You're getting some nice support there from the people around. I think, the good city. She always for the people and always want to help people. I listen to her sometimes. See, good positive energy, giving everyone an
It's
opportunity.
true. I've always been for the people, by the people, on the ground, fighting for the people, threatening to go and riot with the people, getting my broom and going by grocery stores for the people. I've always been that. And
Right.
imagine how much more powerful I will be as an activist if I am inside the system to dismantle the system.
Absolutely. Let's jump to this call. We got a caller on the line. Caller, live. Where you calling us from?
I'm calling from Brooklyn. The young
Brooklyn.
lady
Hold
I
on.
keep talking about
Hold on.
I and
Hold
I with regards to
Okay, hold on.
representation.
Brooklyn, hold on 1 second. I want you to turn your background down a bit because I'm hearing a lot of feedback coming in from your device. If you could just turn that down a bit for me.
I hear the young lady talking about a lot of I and I and I. Is it that representation that she would give to the people? That's one. And secondly, how do we relate to ourselves as human beings? Do we like ourselves? Because I see she has a lot of gray hair. Or is blonde hair? Her black hair has gone. Does she like herself? Does she like her identity in terms of representation? Because that is critical, you know. If you like yourself, you're happy in whatever body you came with, then you would live with it. You would keep it with you.
Well, people blonde their
You know?
hair, people alter those things. That doesn't mean
Let
that
me
it.
answer. Let me
Okay,
answer. I have an answer.
okay, sorry, go ahead.
So a lot of people always throw that at women. Every time they change their appearance or put on weave or put on makeup, you don't like yourself and that is self-hate. And that is so far from the truth. So is that also true when they decide to take a bath, soap and take a bath? Are we going to just stay in our natural state because we like ourselves so much we're not going to bathe? We're not going to brush our teeth? Makeup, eyelashes, hair is just another level of self-care. And it have nothing to do with self-hate. I absolutely love myself and I love my natural hair. But I don't wear it often because my natural hair, I have soft skull. And the other day I did a natural style, and 5 days after I take out the natural style, I had a headache because I have soft skull. So should I now be uncomfortable for the rest of the world to feel comfortable and say, oh my God, yes, Shah is natural. She loves herself. No, I love myself. I love myself, but it is much more comfortable to wear weave. It's much more, and the only reason I have on makeup is because I had a video shoot this morning for a brand. I am always very, very, very busy. So I had a video shoot, and straight from the video shoot, I am in the APP office because we have a meeting here, a political meeting. And then I had the show. So I haven't even been able to sit or rest as yet. So that's why I have on makeup. But I love myself, and that shouldn't be a question because I finesse myself or I do something extra. Then all of us should stop, brush our teeth, and don't bathe.
Mm. Caller, caller, you there? All right, that caller has disconnected. Okay, good. Take a few more
And,
calls.
and for young girls, why should young girls not want to beautify themselves or change their look or experience themselves in new ways? I am oftentimes, if you see me on the real or talk, I am in my natural self. I don't wear makeup on the show. I have on my bonnet. I have my natural hair. What is the problem with being fancy sometimes? Why is the message to our young ladies that there's only one way to be and you must only be one? Why can't we just allow people to be themselves? Life is not a group project, and we should allow people to express themselves exactly how they want to.
Absolutely. Marilyn just joined, and welcome, Marilyn. She said she joined late, and she wanted if you were joining, making your own party. She's part of APP, All People's Party, a brand new party formed by Kazelle Jackson. They're in Trinidad and Tobago, getting ready to contest the election, which is going to be in just a few weeks. And they have a full slate of candidates, right? You guys presenting a full slate of candidates?
Hopefully, yes.
Okay, all right, right. And so tell us the people that's interested in finding out more, and my position in here on this, guys. I'm willing to talk to and looking forward to talking to leaders of all the political parties that will be contesting the election. We already spoke with a few of them. We're booking an appointment to have a conversation with Mr. Stuart Young, Kamala Prasad Bissessa, who is the opposition leader, and anyone and everyone who were willing to speak to us on their position. And it's just us getting to know the candidates here on Ride Along Live. So a full slate of candidates looking to be released. Where could people find more information in terms of the manifesto, or they could contact, be a part, volunteer? How could they be a part of the
We have a website, and they can also join the APP page on Facebook. Kizel Jackson also have a personal page. You could send any messages to that, and we can go from there. And well, a lot of people, you all already have my contact, and you can message me on any of my platforms. If you have further questions, I always answer, whether it be Facebook, Messenger, Instagram. My personal number is also up on my page. So I've always been very accessible and will continue to be so.
Right. What message do you have to say to the electorate? If you have the people from San Fernando East watching right now, and they're torn between yay or nay, UNC, PNM, they don't know where to go, what message do you have for them right now?
Change is hard, and I understand. I understand you wanting to hold on to something that you know. But for me, I was very happy being a non-voter. And it became to the point that I had to choose, and believe it or not, this is life or death. Because of my situation with my boys, I realized that if I stay to the sideline and I don't become an active part of the solution, then my boys will suffer from my non-action. So this is your call to action for your children, for your grandchildren, for your children's children, and for your generations to come. This is the time to make a change. This is the time to stand up for yourself, and stand up for your people, and stand up for your generation, and say enough is enough, and take a chance on somebody who you may not be sure of, but you're sure that they did not do what the rest of them did. You are very sure that I've never stolen your money. You are very sure that I have never ignored you. You are very sure. So because of that, because I'm coming in with a clean slate, give me a chance. Let me prove that I can do what they have not done for you. And if I do not deliver, then you have lost nothing, because we already get nothing.
Right. Okay. Got you there. Listen, best of luck. And we're going to be following the campaign. We're going to follow in your page, see where you go from here. New politician. And you might just inspire me one day. I might just say, you know what, let me just crack out of the shell and get into politics, because you did it. I could do it too. Hell. So congratulations to you, and keep doing your thing. Keep us updated, please.
Thank you very much, and thanks again for having me, and thanks for being a very gracious host.
Absolutely. Thanks again, and say hi to Kizel Jackson, and tell Kizel I don't bite her. Tell her I don't bite her. Tell her she can answer her phone sometimes. All right. Thank you. All right, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, man. Right Along Live, speaking there with the real raw talk, guys. And despite what you think, what you had to say, what your feelings are, I think you guys should take the next step and just look at the young lady and see where she stands. If it's something that you might align with, she might represent things that, that you feel that would be beneficial to San Fernando, especially for the folks in the constituency. Look her up, check her out. She's on Facebook, she's on, I believe she's on Instagram, and her phone number is available on Facebook. When you go on their profile, you can get her phone number, you could chat with her, find out more. Yeah, the Real Raw Talk, guys. And you can check out again on Facebook. We're going to put the link at the bottom of this comment, and so we could you could check out. All right, check it out. And the APP and other political parties contesting the Trinidad election 2025. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of our program, guys. Don't move a muscle. We'll be right back.
You call me to, it's the level, high the level, raise the level, up it What if you had a choice? A choice of joining a line or a choice of making your purchases online? What would you choose? While you ponder on that, the National Lotteries Authority has provided another purchasing option. All their games are now available online. Yes, Grenadians! From wherever you are, purchase your favorite daily and jackpot type games using any electronic device. Register on the NLA's website at www.nla.gd. Top up your account and enjoy online lottery gaming at your convenience. We're taking shopping comfort up, up, up several notches. But the choice is yours. Join a line or buy online. NLA, make your dreams come true.
Yeah, right along live, guys. Listen. So yesterday we had a program where we were speaking about the incident that happened at the airport here in Grenada, and my position on this and my stance and why I'm going to be pushing a whole agenda to have this question change. So I met someone today and they asked me a very interesting question. And I had to give them an interesting answer, right? So they're saying that, aren't you scared that coming out and speaking about, the folks at the airport or folks in customs or immigration, whatever, aren't you scared that that might adversely affect you or your business going forward, right? And listen, I approach things like this, right? My conviction, once I feel strongly about something, I would speak out. I would go forward and I would voice my opinion regardless of how it may or may not affect me personally, or may not affect my business interests personally, right? I see myself as providing many different services. And if someone feel like they don't want to patronize a particular service that I provide because I'm strong about a particular agenda item, or I might cross path with them that might not be, of best interest to them, and they might want to use that against me, so be it, right? You can be strong and shy at the same time. I speak out on things that affect me and in people that I know could genuinely help with, fellow Grenadians. This is not just me speaking. This is people from all over. This is commentary that I've been getting. These are emails. These are WhatsApp messages. These are calls that I've been getting. And on top of it, it affects me as well. So you can be strong and shy. I don't mind if people feel, or certain individuals at the Maurice Bishop International Airport Customs want to look at me funny. It's all your eye, all your eyes, all your own, right? I have no bad blood. I feel no bad way about them. I just speak in my mind. So if you didn't get a chance to watch the story yesterday, you could go back and watch it, because it's still something that I'm very serious about pushing to remove that question that returning nationals to Grenada in particular, because we hear that it happens other places as well. Returning nationals with Grenadian passport should not be asked how long they stay in. I think it's a very common sense issue. A lot of other people in high authorities feel that it's a common sense issue. I think it should change. And that's my position on that. All right? Anyway, guys, on behalf of all of our team here at Ride Along Live, our senior executive producer, Lois JJ, how are you doing, my dear? And everyone here at Team Ride Along, we say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you. It's really, really lovely to come on here and know that we have the supporters, we have the people who are interested in conversation. Some of them you may not agree with, and we understand, but at least you sit here and you listen, and we appreciate that. All right? Don't forget also, guys, that we ask and urge that you support the businesses, the people who support us here. Keeps the light on, keep the program going, right? And we got to big up our sister company, Ride Excursions, and we, of course, launched the Ride. You know about the Ride Tuk Tuk, where you could get the Tuk Tuk service or tours around Grenada. Yeah, these are the Tuk Tuk tours. Yep, but that's not all. We also have the water bike. Yeah, the water bike. Bike on the sea, ride on the sea. You can check that out as well. And we just launched our taxi service, which is the island-wide taxi service here at Ride. All of these could be found at ride.gd. That's ride.gd, ryde.gd. Absolutely great. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for being a part of our program. Catch you guys again tomorrow. Good night.
Power to the people, we shine. Giving fans what they need. Caribbean spirit, let's succeed. Every show with a good beat. Together we plant the seed. Ride along, join the dance, let's sing the song. From island to island strong, with the host, we belong. Energy high, heart so bright. Tune in, feel the light. Global love taking flight. Every ride a sheer delight. Making waves across the seas. Love and joy in the breeze. Ride along live if you please. Bringing hope with such ease. Ride along, join the dance, let's sing the song. From island to island strong, with the host, we belong. Energy high, heart so bright. Tune in, feel the light. Global love taking flight. Every ride a sheer delight. Making waves across the seas. Love and joy in the breeze. Ride along live if you please. Bringing hope with such ease. Ride along, join the dance, let's sing the song. From island to island strong, with the host, we belong.
Looking for the ultimate island experience? Hop on the Ride Tuk Tuk Rum Punch Tour and explore Grenada like never before. Feel the tropical breeze, sip on authentic Caribbean rum punch, and cruise through Grenada's stunning scenery in our unique and fun tuk-tuks. It's the perfect blend of adventure and island flavor. Book your unforgettable tour now at ride.gd or call 473-422-1011. Don't just see Grenada, experience it with Ride Tuk Tuk Rum Punch Tours today.